Tiếp tục sẽ quay lại với phần riêng minh mà nó nhảm riêng minh và bình luận của mình nhá. Đây chúng ta sẽ đến với phiên bản tiếp theo 4 và thì hiện tại chưa thấy chuỗi nhiệm vụ gì hết. Chúng ra thường thì đi vào game như thế này thì bạn chuỗi đó. Nên là sẽ thử tới lựa chỗ hội mạo hiểm đi xem. Thì như đã nói những clip trước thì gần đây mình không có cảm thấy tốt đẹp về nhà phát hành, nên mình cũng có xem stream đó. Và do đó cũng không biết được rằng là có sự kiện gì và cũng biết là sẽ diễn biến như thế nào. Nói chung là mình cũng quan tâm rồi đấy thế. Do đó thì chỉ biết nhân vật mới của bản này sẽ là Navia ha. Còn lại thì giờ không có thông tin gì thì stream đã nói qua rồi. Thường đây trước mình cũng 600 thôi, cũng nhiều. Cú cánh gì đó
Tea parties are a must for the WoW Manor.
Once there was a glorious.
Ok lắm. Cái này thì bỏ qua đi. Vì lần trước thì khai phá cũng không được đầy ha. Nhưng tới một lần trong team banner thường
Learn
thì
the
cũng
proper etiquette.
có
I'd be happy to teach you.
nhiều thay đổi biết quái gì đó. Ngước lên nhìn thiên thu, ngước lên thiên thu nhìn xuống dạng vật màu hay đấy. Rồi lại thất thánh. Về thánh thì chung là cảm thấy không có hứng để mà chơi, mà thật sự là không có thời gian lắm. Thì đa phần là mình chơi một trò chơi khác thì nó sẽ có cảm giác thoải mái hơn, chơi lại một cái trò chơi mà cũ đích chơi đi chơi lại. Chủ nó cũng chỉ có nhiêu đó thôi. Còn chơi đớp cánh thì thật sự lúc mới đầu thì nó cũng là một cái gì đó mới mẻ lắm, nhưng mà càng ngày càng chơi thì mọi người sẽ có một cảm thấy nó bị tù. Đánh đi đánh lại chỉ có nhiêu đó, mặc dù lấy tiền để mua các thẻ mới như thế nào đó thì nó cũng sẽ có một cái giới hạn gì đó của nó. Nó không có thắng được nguyên thạch, đó là vấn đề thứ nhất. Vấn đề thứ hai là nó là một tiền tệ khác, nó giống như một trò chơi khác vậy đó. Nhưng mà mình không thể mà mở máy suốt ngày để mà canh chiến lược đánh từng trận từng thẻ bài. Ví dụ như mọi người chạy map hoặc là có chơi La Hoàng hay là một vài sự kiện khác thì thật sự nó mất thời gian, nhưng nó mất thời gian không nhiều. Và ví dụ như mình bỏ một buổi trống để mọi người chơi, còn với cày đất đánh ngồi đánh chiến lược từng lá một mình phải theo dõi biết, thậm chí đánh đi đánh lại hoài nhiều lần thì khó chịu lắm. Nên là dần dần thì thất thánh nó bị hắt hủi vì chả ai muốn chơi Yu-Gi-Oh ở trong trò chơi hành động khác. Chúng ta không game trong game và không gacha cái kiểu đó. Thì Navia thì mình sẽ không có quay, cho nên nếu như không phải của mình không có vấn đề gì hết. Thì Navia thì hiện tại rất là đánh giá cao về số lượng sát thương gây ra cũng rất là to. Nghe đâu thì nó khoảng 100.000, cố gắng thì vậy là cũng là một sự lựa chọn tối ưu hết cho hệ nham. Đa phần hiện tại hệ nham chỉ có một Benito là nhân vật TPS có thể sử dụng chiến đấu thôi, còn tất cả các cha còn lại đa phần đều là HP support hết. Và độ support của hệ nham thì nó cũng không có đa dụng lắm. Đầu tiên thì đó là một hệ không có phản ứng, và vì không có phản ứng nên là nó sẽ chiếm một slot nào đó trong team, và nếu không có phản ứng thì rất là khó để cân bằng anh sát thương phản ứng cho
A
team.
television test. Swirl,
Thì
Mark 2.
theo nhận xét của mình hiện tại thì
Lights
các
out.
nội dung ví dụ như La Hoàng cần 2 cột sát thương đồng thời, một sát thương từ Keyboard, tức là sát thương chính từ tấn công hoặc là sát thương đánh thường, còn một sát thương nữa đến từ phản ứng nguyên tố, thì phải có 2 dòng sát thương liên tục như vậy
Enhanced animal module 75.
thì mọi người mới giải quyết được La Hoàng hiện tại. Còn nếu mà ai có nguồn lực, tiền bạc gì đó, mọi người bổ sung vào thêm thì không cần quan tâm. Nhưng nếu như một người chơi thường không có chi tiền như mình thì sẽ tối ưu các vấn đề đó, nên là thêm một slot thời gian và không dẫn đến phản ứng thì nó rất là tốn chỗ. Nên là chúng ta sẽ cân nhắc để các dài nhằm có team riêng thôi. Trước thì đi team Ito thì sẽ không phải là cái gì đó lợi hại lắm. Team Ito thì cũng thường. Một bí cảnh mới, một bộ thánh di vật mới, có lẽ sau này sẽ dùng đến, hoặc là có thể không. Nó tăng công 18% 10 giây sau khi thi triển sát thương nguyên tố nhằm biến sinh phản ứng từ kết tinh bảo vệ, quả sẽ gia tăng lên cho 50%. Quả tăng thêm sẽ mất khi tấm điện đến thì cũng được đi. Ngày cũ trị liệu 15% người trang bị trị liệu cho nhân trong đời sẽ sản sinh những mong mỏi 6 giây ghi nhận là lượng về hồi phục trị liệu gặp phần dư ra. Dân như vậy kết mỗi mong mỏi mình mỗi lần sống ngày cổ khi tấn công thường trọng kích tấn công khi đáp năng yếu tốt cái năng ngộ với nhật ra trận trong độ chúng ca địch sát thương gây ra sẽ tăng dự giảm 8% từ HP hồi phục một được ghi nhận có hiệu quả trong hiệu quả mong mỏi quả làn sóng ngày cổ xóa hiệu lực lần sau 10 giây mỗi lần hiệu quả mở cái đang ghi nhớ thì 5.000 điểm hồi phục, tức là tồn tại hiệu quả cùng lúc nhưng có thể ghi nhận lượng hồi phục của nhiều người trang bị công ra trận cũng có thể kích hoạt hiệu này. Đây thì sẽ bổ sung cho bộ kit của Fulina, và Fulina sẽ trở thành debug cho những nhân vật không ra trận, và healer khác thì nó cũng sẽ giống như bộ của Kumi ngày trước, bộ san hô bộ xà cừ, đúng rồi, nó cũng sẽ giống vậy, nhưng mà thay vì nó ra đam chuyển thành tấn công trực tiếp thì này sẽ cộng dồn vào sát thương của một nhân vật khác, ở đây sẽ là Fulina ha. Đây thì cũng sẽ tăng mạnh thêm cho bộ kit của Fulina, mà với một số nhân vật như team mình đang đi hiện tại tức là vậy rồi, nên là cũng sẽ rất khó đeo bộ mới. Vì vậy chưa chắc gì mình đã đi cày bộ mới này. Đấy, Navia thì mình không lấy rồi. Thôi giờ tiếp tục bắt đầu đi. Thì nhiệm vụ nhân vật thì sẽ có chiều hướng là kết thúc sớm á, nên chúng ta cứ mở khóa đi làm Navia trước, còn ví dụ sự kiện thì để xem sông ly này thì cái nào bình thường bên thiên tôn nhật số nhận vật về thành cũ nhạn cũ tung bay trăng khuyết đánh đồng tiếng đá ngâm thơ nó tẩn trong giấc mơ hồi tưởng cảnh tráng lệ trước khi với tới. Đây là cái gì? Tượng đồng kỳ quan của mặt nhạn cũ xưa tình quân đích mặt anh vàng tai. Đây là trải nghiệm huyền diệu về ngày nhận quân đế quân tình cờ khám phá kỳ quan là vàng có dáng vẻ sang trọng quý phái đường nét trang trí lộng lẫy dấu đất chứ chắc mình đã tốt ra gì như thế đâu được kỳ với ok chỉ là nhận thưởng thôi. Và đó ở đầu chapter này chúng ta chỉ có nhiệm vụ của Navia và sự kiện cấp tính chiều hồi nếu nó có liên quan tới Nguyên Thạch. Còn nếu nó không liên quan tới Nguyên Thạch thì đâu nhá, không làm nha. Vì chơi tới 8 triệu hồi dạo này mình cảm thấy rất là buồn ngủ, mình không có kham nổi nha, mình không có tiếp vì mình cầm nhân vật chạy lung tung nó quen rồi và vui rồi, nên chuyện là quay đề cập một cái thẻ bài vô tri vô giác và đánh chờ từng lượt thì mình không muốn đâu ha. Là nó auto luôn đi cho nó khỏe, suy nghĩ rất là mệt óc, để dành thời gian cho những trò chơi khác có ý nghĩa hơn.
Well, if it isn't my dear partners.
Chào bạn.
That voice, it's Navia.
Chứ ai nữa?
I didn't expect to run into you guys here today. Are you headed somewhere? How about you, Navia? Are you still busy rebuilding Poisson? We've wrapped up most of the rebuilding, but there are still a few things left to take care of.
Việc gì?
Stocking up on materials, confirming construction timelines, discussing compensation terms with families affected by the disaster. Between all of that, I've been making a lot of trips between the court and Poisson. Well, though the victims have received relief payments from the court, in my opinion, as the administrators of Poisson, Spina di Rosula should take some responsibility as well. Our financial situation right now isn't the best, so all we've been doing is signing agreements for the damages to be repaid at a later date. Though just pieces of paper now, they demonstrate our commitment. They're necessary to restore the people's faith in us.
Oh, spoken like a true president. You're a really responsible leader. That
Chính
must be
xác
taking
luôn.
up most of your time though, right?
Oh, you bet. Between that and all the other errands I have to run at the court, I'm always forgetting one thing or another. So before I came over this time, I took a page from Melusa's book and decided to make a list of everything. This way, it's easy to see which tasks you haven't checked off.
Thì cũng thật là nặng nề với một thân phận cô gái á, lúc ra trong độ tuổi này thì còn đang phải hẹn hò hay là kiếm chồng. Thì đây là một mẫu người cô gái tự lập ở châu Âu, một hình tượng cũng rất là sôi nổi. Thế thế nào vậy, giống như là kiểu nữ anh hùng ấy. Đấy, cũng là một tư tưởng suy nghĩ phổ biến cho chủ yếu là các dòng sự kiện về nữ quyền. Tiếp tục mà vẫn chưa bấm được.
And then, since Melus loved using shorthand, I decided to also follow his example and come up with some shorthand of my own. But after running a few errands in the city, I'm kind of struggling to even read my own handwriting anymore.
That does sound like you, all right. So what kind of shorthand did you use?
Oh, wanna take a look?
Let Paimon see. Wait, there's nothing here but a bunch of weird symbols.
Weird
This
symbol.
looks like a piece of kelp wrapped around a stick. And this other one, is it supposed to be a boar in a box?
The first one has to do with confirming the final payment amount for the fishermen, while the second one is a reminder to try the new burger that just hit the market.
Okay, Paimon can definitely see how you might forget what each of these mean.
Thank you for your advice. These are the kinds of things you only really figure out once you've tried them out yourself. I thought that as long as I understood my shorthand when I came up with it, I'd be sure to remember the symbols when I looked at them later. Unfortunately, I've definitely proven myself wrong.
Well, now you know for next time.
Anyway, I should have already taken care of most of the things on the list. There are still a few symbols that I can't decipher, but I don't think they're anything too super important. Worst comes to worst, I'll just make another trip.
Ah, so you're going to head back now?
Yep, that's the plan. Oh, actually, since we talked about the reconstruction earlier, want to come with me and check out the town for yourself?
Không
You
đi
said
có
you
được
don't have
không?
any plans, right? So we can just catch a boat and head over. It won't take long at all.
Thôi, cảm ơn đi về
It's a
chạy
bit
qua thôi.
sudden, but
Hay là một cánh
Paimon
bay qua
doesn't
nhìn.
see why not. What do you think, traveler?
Then let's go. We'll take a boat over.
Oh, you mean the aqua bus, right? Like the Clementine line?
Oh, sorry. I meant our own boat. The aqua bus doesn't have a station near Poisson, so we'll use one of the Spina's boats. All right, follow me. I'll take you there.
Ồ, con tàu bí mật nào đó nữa hả? Hay vậy? Ồ, vậy hả?
The engineer is still doing a few routine safety checks. We can head out as soon as we get the green light.
So, Paimon has always wanted to ask. The 3 aqua bus lines are all named after people in your family, right?
À,
Yeah, that's right. Callus and Navia are self-explanatory, while Clementine was the name that my mother went by.
If you provided the Mora to build the lines, then why isn't there even a dedicated line to Poisson? Spina di Rosula built all the lines, yet you still have to take a special boat just to go home. Paimon doesn't get it.
Well, what I heard is that most of our businesses don't actually use Poisson as a hub, so there was no real reason to build a line straight to Poisson. You are right that it is a bit strange, though. If you've already committed to build 3 lines, why not just add a 4th?
Yeah, that's what Paimon's saying. The aqua bus is so convenient, it's really a huge shame.
Well, it is what it is. You know what my father was like. Even I often struggled to figure out what was going on in his head. But that would only be the case if he cared about what others thought. My father was always really stubborn. Once he made up his mind, good luck getting him to change it. From what I've heard, the rights of all the other members of the Spina only went as far as giving him advice or suggestions, and no farther. That included my mother, too.
Huh. Well, that explains why you weren't on the greatest of terms with him.
Yeah, because I wouldn't just let him keep getting his way. He was just... not very agreeable.
Boss, the boat's ready. We can head out.
All right, then let's head out.
ok, một chương mới, một chuyển cảnh mới, cũng rất đẹp và rất nghệ thuật.
It'll be a while before we get to Poisson. Let's keep talking.
Navia, what was your mother like as a person? Oh, Paimon, sorry. She totally forgot that you mentioned before that she passed away
Mới
during
tào lao vậy?
childbirth, so you probably don't remember her at all.
That's all right. I've heard many stories about her from the rest of the Spina. They've always said that they were sure we would have gotten along famously. While my papa was stiff like a board, my mother was supposedly super cheerful and funny. Their complementary personalities allowed them to make up for each other's flaws. My father would run the businesses and expand our reach, while my mother would keep the peace and make sure that everyone was happy. Their work made sure that the Spina could grow and thrive.
Sounds like they were not just a well-matched couple, but fantastic business partners as well.
Yeah, but those are just stories and anecdotes after all. It's hard for me to piece together a more complete or intimate picture of her. But sometimes I'd still look at the Clementine line and wonder, would the Spina and Poisson still be what they are today had my mother survived? Silver once said that a name is a kind of inscription, a way to etch a memory into the world. When given a name, a cold, inanimate object can gain a completely new meaning. So, I will always associate the line with her in my heart. Over the past few weeks, I've also begun to appreciate how water can take in and hold our most intense feelings and memories, as well as how one may reflect on their past by watching the sea. I've lost many beloved people and memories to the sea. Even though I cannot stop for them and must continue to keep moving, the fact won't change that they existed in my life and gave me the reason and motivation to move forward. Of course, I still haven't really gotten used to a life without them. But I tell myself that I need to keep looking towards the future. Everyone, even my parents, have already overcome so many obstacles. Besides, I'm the president of Spina di Rosula. I've got to keep my chin up. We've reached the shore. Let's go. I'll show you the new poisson.
Navia, do you think she's doing all right?
Không ổn thì cũng phải ổn thôi. Còn ai nữa đâu.
Okay, Paimon supposes you're right. She's really been through a lot. It couldn't have been easy shouldering so much by herself.
Rồi để chị Fulina an ủi cưng nha. Chị Fulina nhiêu nhờ? 500 tuổi. Ủa sao bên đây sáng sủa vậy? Rồi tối tăm u ám lại rồi đó.
Boss, you're back! Traveler and Paimon, welcome back to Poisson.
Oh, hey! Fancy seeing you again, Florent. Is it your turn to take care of Navia now?
Hey, I can totally take care of myself. For the time being, I'll go around without any attendance. We did hand over some of Malus's old responsibilities to Florent, though. It's been really nice to have him around to help out.
Thank you for the compliment, boss. As you see, I've been working closely with the boss on rebuilding Poisson. Mr. Malus was an extremely capable and respected member of the Spina. I've got some really big shoes to fill.
All right. There's no need to be so formal. Everyone's practically old friends by now. Were you waiting here for me? Did we manage to make any progress on the statue?
Yeah, we contacted a sculptor about the job, but they can't get started on sourcing a correctly sized block with
Of everything they've done for the Spina and the town of Poisson. But since my father was known as callously unfaithful for the longest time, maybe we can have this conversation again in a few decades, once I've done more for the town and the people.
Hey, there's no need to be so humble. Didn't you just help save the entire country?
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe that Boss should have a place on the statue.
Hey, if you keep inflating my ego like this, I might just float off into the sky with my parasol. Just kidding. There's no way that I'd accept that kind of compliment at face value. At a minimum, I'd have to match what my father did for the people. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I just don't think I'm ready yet. Anyway, Florent, now it's up to us to confirm the final design, right?
Mm-hmm. We can ask the sculptor to start looking for a good block once we've decided on the poses for Miss Clementine and Mr. Callis. But we haven't had any real discussions yet on the possible designs. I feel like I should get a few promising designs first, and then send them over to you to review.
There's no need for all that. Let's decide on a design right now. Hey, you! Come over here with me. Modeling a few poses, of course. Here, just pretend to be Callus, and I'll be Clementine.
That's,
Didn't you say on the boat that Callus and Clementine sounded like great partners? Well, then there's no one better to fill this role than my most valuable partner. Florent, let's grab some reference shots.
You've got it, boss. I'll go get the camera.
Well, what do you think? Got any ideas? Well, I've actually discussed it a bit with Florent before, but I could never come up with any fresh or original ideas. It's probably because my idea of them is already kind of set in stone. So, I want to pick your brain for a bit and see if you can come up with some new and interesting ideas.
I'm all good here, boss. Feel free to start posing whenever.
By that, do you mean as if we were standing on a boat and looking out at the sea? Sure, let's give that a try.
whoa, you really remind Paimon of a captain and their first mate.
Look over there, my dear Clementine. As you can see, every tree on that island is dripping with mora fruit.
But there's something off with the composition. This pose makes Mr. Callus look too tall next to the lady.
Oh, I see what you mean. Then let's swap.
Well, Paimon is a fan. A statue like this would look fantastic on a boat.
Wait, but we can't do that. Very few people would see the statue if we were to put it on a boat. This statue is meant to be placed in the town.
But then, since we're putting it in the town, the whole point of the pose would be lost.
Oh, okay. We'll try to think of something else.
A happy pose? You mean something like we were laughing together at a funny joke?
Trời đất ơi, cái nó bựa vậy.
Would all that be able to come through with just a picture?
Would we even be able to tell what they are supposed to be laughing about?
Yeah, and that'd probably be a massive pain to sculpt as well.
Could one of you try striking a pose like you're talking while the other one laughs?
This glorious golden age.
But isn't Clementine's pose a bit too bold and heroic? Was she really that kind of person? If we were to stick with this pose, maybe people would wonder if she was actually the real boss behind the scenes.
Well, tabloids did indeed speculate as much back in the day, but the Spina pulled a few strings and made both the report and the journalist disappear.
Oh, Paimon was just kidding! Please don't make Paimon disappear.
What Florent meant was that we asked the journalist to choose a new alias. You're right, though, that this may not accurately represent the image of her in our hearts. Let's try to come up with something else.
We tried a bunch of different ideas, but none of them felt right. Paimon's all out of brain juice now, too.
Oh, don't worry. We still got a lot of reference shots out of the session, and each of them can be considered to be a souvenir in their own right. Let's just keep the ideas we tried as backups. Man, if I knew I was going to do a photo shoot with the Traveler, I would have prepared a lot of outfits and props ahead of time. Oh, outfits! That's the errand I forgot back in the city. Do either of you still remember that girl? The girl I went to see with you two. Her name is Adele.
Oh, Paimon remembers her. She was the one that we met while investigating Mr. Callus's case, right?
Yes, that's exactly who I'm talking about. So, after the case, she was finally willing to talk to me, and she told me that she wanted to join the Spina too. I said that it's fine, but young children are not allowed to join the Spina. She will just have to wait a few years, and then we'll welcome her with open arms. Since she's still a child, though, she thought I was just trying to let her down gently. But how could I get her to believe that I meant what I said? In the end, I came up with an idea. I'd have a Spina uniform made and give it to her as a gift. But I got so busy and distracted in the city that I forgot to pick the uniform up. So I did forget something important after all.
Don't worry, boss. I can send someone to pick it up right away.
On the matter of the statue, we should still come up with a few more ideas for the design. I'll have to trouble you to source some for me.
We could have just done that from the start.
Ừ.
Yeah, you're right. They'll have some value as souvenirs at least.
Navia! Florent, guess who's back?
Huh? But aren't you supposed to...
Oh, well, if it isn't Coulter. Back already from the Fortress of Meripede?
That's right. I finally finished serving my time. Gotta say, turns out I was a lot tougher than I thought. After I got out, I immediately made a beeline back to Poisson. You could say that familiar, briny smell became a primal call, urging me to forget everything else and just come back home. You wouldn't believe how much I've missed Melissa's grilled fish. I dreamed about it every time I had to get a welfare meal down there underneath the sea.
It's good to have you back, Coulter. You look as well as ever.
And this guy is?
Let me introduce you. This is Coulter, another of Spina di Rosula's members. He was found guilty and sentenced to the Fortress of Meripede some time ago. But, looking at it now, it was probably another one of Marcel's plots while he worked at the Confrérie of Cabrières.
Wait, Mr. Marcel? What do you mean? He was involved in some sort of plot?
Have you not heard anything at all about the water from the primordial sea case?
Well, I know that Fontaine got flooded, but then the water levels miraculously receded. I thought that was all there was to it and didn't care to ask for any more details. Do you mean Mr. Marcel was somehow involved with all that?
Oh, looks like we'll have to explain everything from the top. That case, a lot of things have happened in Poisson since then. First things first, let me introduce you to these two. They're my most trusted partners, and they've been with me through thick and thin. Now you could call them Spina di Rosula's VIP helpers.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, nice to meet you. I don't recall Navia ever generously complimenting anyone like that before, so you must be pretty amazing to get that from her.
Yeah, we are indeed pretty amazing. But we've been cool since before we even met her. Wait, now you suddenly resist taking a dig at Paimon?
Nice. Spina di Rosula always seems to attract great people. Oh, that reminds me. Where are Malus and Silver? Aren't they always by your side?
About that.
Coulter, a lot of things happened while you were gone. As you can see, even Poisson isn't quite the same as how it was before you left.
They lost their lives, keeping me safe during the flood.
What did you say? This isn't some kind of morbid welcome home prank, right? You're just scaring me on purpose because I don't know anything about what's happened.
I'm sorry, but it's the truth. They weren't the only people we lost either. Many others, including Melissa, also lost their lives in the disaster.
Malus and Melissa, dead. They're just gone?
Thật sự thì không chết đâu.
Malus. I was planning to give him a surprise gift once I ran into him again in town. I can't believe it.
Hey, keep it together.
Malus and Coulter were friends for many years, and even served on many missions together during the early days of the Spina. I can understand how he feels.
Let's sit down somewhere, so I can tell you everything that has happened while you were gone. Fair warning, there was a lot.
Okay.
Chúng ta đi đâu đây? Đâu đây? La 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 la.
All of this, it's unbelievable. I can't believe that those stories were real. It all really happened. Has the world gone mad?
I think you and I both feel the same way about the profound tragedy of Melusa's loss. And the sheer depravity of Marcel's actions.
I thought Mr. Marcel would always stand by the Spina. Everything he had, the Spina gave to him. It's unconscionable to have received all that, and yet still plot to kidnap and dissolve you for his insane research.
The good news is that the Confrérie of Cabriere is no more. Gone with them too is the entire synth manufacturing and distribution network. We finally closed the curtain on that long struggle.
Are you sure? But if Marcel wanted to rebel against us, he probably sent word in secret to Romeu.
Romu?
Huh. Not a name I've heard before either.
Florent should remember him. You see, there was once a major internal dispute regarding funding the construction of the Aquabus lines. Romeu was the leader of the faction that thought such a vast sum of mora would be better spent improving the town of Poisson. But Mr. Callis believed that an opportunity to collaborate with the court of Fontaine and the Fontaine Research Institute was hard to come and would allow us to build many valuable relationships. Not only would the Aquabus be a good business investment, it would also boost our reputation among the general populace, eventually paying us massive dividends down the line. But the two couldn't come to an agreement. Romeu ended up taking a lot of people with him when he left Spino di Rosula altogether, and the split was on extremely bad terms.
Ugh. And with Papa's stubbornness, I can definitely imagine how it must have gone down.
And of course, when he was suffering the slings and arrows of outrageous injustice, those relationships that he spent a fortune to build didn't help in the least.
Yeah, you could say it was the price he paid for sticking to his beliefs.
Oh, that's a good point. If Callis was really as stubborn as you say, then wouldn't he have argued with the rank and file all the time?
Oh yeah, it eventually became a thing that just happened on every day that ended with Y. But Navia, boss, you might not know this, but he wasn't always like that. He used to be a lot better with taking counsel. With him listening to our advice and Ms. Clementine also frequently on our side, it was pretty smooth sailing for a good many years. But on the matter of the Aquabus, even Ms. Clementine completely stood by Mr. Callis's side.
Huh. I never knew. But from my perspective, Romeu's position had a lot going for it. Couldn't they have sat down and talked it out?
I think the Aquabus was just the straw that broke the camel's back. On that topic, they eventually came to a rather radical conclusion. They believed that Miss Clementine lost her ability to serve as an impartial mediator when she became pregnant with Callis's child.
So they thought she had betrayed them? But that doesn't make any sense. Before she was their mediator, my mother was also her own person, and a member of the Spina. She should have the right to take any side she wished.
Yeah, but to them, even taking a side was betrayal enough. They felt like their voices could no longer be heard once their sole mediator had gone over to the other side. Of course, Ms. Clementine then passed away, and Mr. Callis began to regard the completion of the Aquabus project as her final wish. With that, the last hope of reconciliation was gone.
So that's what happened.
From that point on, Romeo and his people cut ties with the Spina, and never gave us any kind of professional or personal courtesy ever again. Perhaps they've regarded us as enemies ever since they left. But even so, there is still no proof that they ever acted in concert with Marcel.
I've also heard that they aren't in a good financial position, so they've been lying low for a while. But as long as they exist, they'll continue to be a threat.
I think Coulter's got a point. Both Marcel and Romeo had my father in their sights for a very long time. Even though Marcel's faction has been dissolved, we still don't know anything about Romeo's whereabouts. If they're still trying to get revenge on us, with how distracted and vulnerable we are, now would be the best time.
Good thinking, boss. We should keep an eye on them at all times. I'll let my men know right away.
Thank you for that, Florent. And Coulter, thank you for telling me about this as well.
Don't worry, it's nothing. Do you have a moment right now? How about we go out for a walk? I've heard so many incredulous things today. I'm finding it a bit hard to calm down even now. I mean, to think that I'll just never see them again.
In that case, why don't we go back to the court? I can pick up Adele's uniform while we're there as well. It'll save Laurent's guys a trip. Want to come with me again, you two? You don't mind, do you, Coulter?
Of course. That's fine by me.
Then let's go! Paimon feels like a lot's hinging on this visit.
We really are the best of partners. Come on, let's go.
Rồi, tới đây vào thành thôi. Về câu chuyện này thì kể đó là phần nói chuyện, cái chiếm phần lớn nội dung rồi, không có đánh nhau, cũng không có âm mưu gì, thủ đoạn gì tiện thể ở đây không thích nữa. Nên là chúng ta chậm lại và lắng nghe thôi. Như trước đó câu chuyện được tạo trên một cái tiền đề rất là nặng nề về thảm họa và sự đau thương mất mát. Mặc dù đây là một game về ánh sáng và hy vọng cái gì đó mà đa phần muốn có ánh sáng, có hy vọng thì cũng có hy sinh mất mát một phần đó để tạo bằng cả. Không có gì mà tự nhiên cần ánh sáng với hy vọng làm chi hết á. Bình thường ngày trải qua thì con người ta vẫn sống được ha. Đấy, nên là câu chuyện này vì tiền đề của nó quá nặng nề rồi, chúng ta không có lý do gì để nghi ngờ cả, chỉ có thể tiếp tục chờ mong. Bé Linh Hoàng cái tao cần
Are we not taking the boat this time?
It's nice to walk from time to time, isn't it? Think of it as something like a hiking trip. Once we're there, we can stay a few days before we return.
Sounds good. I haven't walked this road in a long time.
Yeah.
hello. Rồi đi một cái đường vòng xa dữ vậy đó hả?
The doctor will see you now.
Seems like an emergency.
Shower me with praise!
Đây là lần tiên mình có cảm giác là đi trên nước như thế này hả? Đây, chúng ta cùng thử trải nghiệm mới á. Thường mọi người có một số người chơi rất là có kiên nhẫn về việc đi trên nước. Đây này. Đến điểm hẹn các thứ có thú vui đó. Còn lần này thì do cô tản bộ gì đó mà ta đi thử.
It's pouring out here! Oh, wait, the water levels aren't rising, are they? Shower me with praise!
Đi tản bộ mà gặp trời mưa nữa. Thật là cái khỏe và bất ngờ.
Strike a pose!
Nếu mà xem theo bản đồ đường tàu thì cũng có đường tàu đi chạy gần tới Genshin rồi mà, thì có thể xuống tàu tại điểm này để xuống Genshin. Dù sao điểm này thì nó cũng có một trụ đây này, thì đâu phải là không có đường đâu, đâu đấy nó là không đi qua thì chết được. Mặc dù có thể bẻ đường tí để nó chạy thẳng qua thị trấn, dù sao đây cũng là vùng núi thôi, làm gì có gì ở đây, đúng không? Đỡ mất công có một cua quẹo được nè. Nên là nói vì kinh tế, vì lý do gì đó mà để đường tàu không đi qua thị trấn thì đó là một điều sai trái nha. Với lại đường tàu có thể cắt qua đây, mặc dù thì không xuyên qua núi lắm. Thì đây bẻ một góc cong và từ đây bắn thẳng qua thị trấn. Thì đường đi nó lại ngắn hơn nữa. Dù sao bên đây chỉ là vùng núi và di tích thôi, cũng chả có thành thị gì cũng này. Đó là phải khó hiểu.
Well, we've walked far enough for now. Let's take a break. Since we're out for a walk, we shouldn't stress too much about the destination.
Grown old, so I'm not as fit as before. It's a good thing that at least my work down in the fortress was quite the workout.
Well, Paimon thinks you're doing great. We didn't have to slow down for you at all.
Back in the days before the aquabus lines were built, we often had to hike north with our goods, then catch a boat to the court. Malus and I must have traveled this way hundreds of times. When we were tired, we would lay down for a while on the grass, and when we were hungry, we'd catch a fish or two. The Spina was still on the rise back then. Mr. Callis was generous, and everyone had the chance to strike it rich, so of course we all worked really hard. And now, in the blink of an eye, the aquabus lines have been built, and this road has fallen into disuse. Oh, I know. I was just being a little nostalgic.
Then let's stay here a bit longer. Anyone want snacks?
Oh,
có
is
chuẩn bị
this
luôn hả?
another chance to try some of Navia's macarons? Paimon's been dreaming of them.
Yep, I figured you wouldn't say no to a few more. Oh, wait. Let me check if I have all the ingredients. Malus and Silver used to take care of tasks like this. Okay, the stove's looking good. Seems like we're all out of flour and sugar, the two most important ingredients of all. Oh,
Đấy.
would you? Oh, but
Để
it
túi
would be
không
too
gian
much to
của mình
ask you to
phát
go on
huy
a
tác
trip
dụng
just for
sao?
those.
We should contribute to making the macaron too. Don't worry, we cook out in the wild all the time, so she should have some stuff on hand.
Of course.
That's great. Then I'll leave the ingredient gathering to you. As long...
Then I'll go look for some boxes nearby for a makeshift table and chairs.
Great. Then I'll prep the stove. Let's get to work, everyone.
Ồ, cái bếp này có tặng không? Bếp ngon quá vậy?
Ah, how did it go? Did you find...
Này có sẵn, khỏi kiếm.
You've all done your part. Just leave the rest to me.
Whoa, these macarons look and taste magnificent! Your cooking is as good as ever, Navia.
Boss's baking skills have always been famous. Everyone in the Spina knows how exceptionally talented she is.
Oh, it's just a hobby. There's no need to praise me for it like that.
Have you two seriously never considered joining us? You're so close to the boss, and she obviously trusts you with all her heart, so... Was it that obvious? I just thought you would be a great fit, that's all.
You just happened to walk in on our little reunion. It's actually been quite a while since we last spent time together. Adventurers never stay in one place for long. The name of Spina di Rosula would just tie them down. Besides, after everything we've been through together, I'm sure our hearts would remain intertwined even if we found ourselves on opposite sides of the world.
Even if Paimon was far beyond the horizon, she'd still remember the delicious taste of Navia's macaron.
Có cái mặt ở
I
trên đó kìa,
understand
hay
now.
quá.
Then I am very lucky indeed to have been graced with the chance to meet the two of you. I will endeavor to make the most of this short yet fortuitous encounter, and enjoy every moment we spend together.
We've got no wine with us, but let's still toast with water, in celebration of this moment.
Ừ.
Cheers! Hey, what are you doing? Quick, join him on the...
May your travels go smoothly, may the Spina continue to grow, and may our friendship... All set? Let's move out then. I asked some old acquaintances in town to make Adele's uniform, so we should be able to pick it up right away.
Rồi sao quanh kia? Có bằng tàu hả? Hay là qua bằng cách nào? Thật sự thì mình cũng chưa từng đi chạm tàu ở đây, thì vẫn như thói quen cũ từ xưa đến giờ thôi, tức là sẽ bộ hoặc là bơi qua, chứ không có dùng các dịch vụ trung chuyển khác.
Take it.
Bây giờ chưa thấy.
Go on. You have my approval.
Chơi trời. Trượt dài quá. Cũng không có cách nào lên được thảo được hết. Vì nội dung hôm nay là cũng nhẹ nhàng, coi chưa có gì lợi hại lắm. mà xem như tự thưởng ngắm cảnh một tí đi. Chiều nãy giờ chúng ta đi tới 2-3 lần.
Strike a pose! Yep.
Con chó dễ thương nhỉ. Hello.
Illusion shattered!
A bitter pill to swallow.
Tao bắn mày đúng đầu chứ mày nói. Chỗ này có thể nhận tàu không?
Shower me with praise! Strike a pose!
Đúng là tôi đi ra làm cái gì đó rất là tiện lợi ha.
Shower me with praise!
Còn
Yoo-hoo!
sẽ giống những thành phố đã trải qua thì có lẽ con tranh chỉ được xây dựng sau và có thời gian nhiều hơn những thành phố khác nên là quy hoạch cũng như là biến tướng trên thành phố này rất là độc đáo, bố trí các kiểu cũng rất là phù hợp, mang cái gì đó có là hiện đại, rồi về diện tích cũng như là bố trí các thứ thì có thể ra không phải là thành phố lớn nhất, nhưng mà các khoản quy hoạch các thứ thì đều có thể tiếp tục nè.
Hey there, Ludovine. How's business lately?
The demoiselle of Spina de Rosula. I must say, your generous patronage is the one thing keeping me from going bankrupt.
Nonsense. We all know what a talented businesswoman you are. No, and don't forget, she's the boss now.
My mistake, my mistake. I just got so used to calling her demoiselle. Are you here for the uniform?
Yep. I forgot to drop by earlier when I was running errands around here.
I didn't expect demoiselle to come and pick it up in person. It's just a uniform after all. Any of your folks could have come instead.
Navia's always liked to take even small things seriously.
Hey, that's not the only reason I'm here. We mostly just needed a walk to clear our heads. There are few things more uplifting than taking the first step on a new journey.
Boss has got a point. Going on a trip with friends is always better than staying cooped up at home.
Very well. Please, wait here while I retrieve the uniform for you.
Can someone remind Paimon again why Adele wants to join the Spina?
She hasn't given me any concrete reasons. All she says is that she really looks up to me. After we cleared her father's name, she became a lot more cheerful and outgoing. It's probably because she now knows for sure that her father was never a bad person. She said she used to be terrified of Papa, so as a result, she found all the rest of the Spina super scary as well. But the Spina is very different now. She mustered up the courage to talk to me, and felt like I could really understand her. Yeah, you could say that. By uncovering the truth about the case, I was able to give her closure at the same time. She said that she wanted to become someone like me, someone who could lend a hand to others, instead of standing still and waiting for others to help her.
From the sound of it, she'll be a wonderful addition to the Spina.
I think so too. But for now, let's focus on giving her a great atmosphere to grow and thrive. She can commit to us once she's older, and can really make that decision for herself.
Is something up, Traveler?
Lữ hành lợi hại quá.
Huh? Tailing? Oh, Paimon's coming.
I'll go check it out too. Coulter, please hold on to this for me.
All right.
Paimon saw them too! They headed up!
Stop right there!
Sao mà qua được bà cô?
We knew you were going to be difficult!
Seems like if we want them to talk, we're gonna need to teach them a lesson first.
Brothers, there's no need to skulk in the dark anymore. Let's take them out!
Xử bọn chúng. Ô mày ngon đấy.
Hey there! Hey there!
Mày ngon xử bọn chúng rồi này kia nữa.
Now, talk. Who are you? And why were you tailing us?
Don't think we'll let you off easy if you keep silent.
How did it go, boss? Are any of you hurt?
If you thought they stood any chance against us, you... Anyway, stop playing tough and start talking. There won't be any room for negotiation once the Maison Gardiennage gets involved.
We're looking to get vengeance on Spina di Rosula. We were discovered, and can't beat you in a fight. We admit it. We lost.
Get revenge? Wait, you're not Romeu's followers, are you?
You actually know that name? But if you do, then surely you should understand why we hate you so much.
Indeed. You haven't got the faintest hope of winning right now.
We were out drinking when we saw Navia. We got so angry we decided to follow you guys and look for an opportunity to really mess up your day. Too bad you guys messed up ours first. Huh? You're pretty sharp, but so what? We didn't do anything. And now it should be pretty obvious that we can't do anything to you anyway. Seeing you like that just really ticked us off. And we let the drink go to our heads.
Trời ơi, mày tin tao đưa mày vô rãnh chấp pháp rồi sao nó lột da mày không? Mày lột một tầng da xuống coi mày nói được gì nữa không? Ồ.
Listen, Callus is long dead. No matter what happened in the past, I want to be able to start things anew. I am the current president of Spina di Rosula. If your boss wants to talk with me, I'd be happy to meet with him. I won't press charges for your attack. That should also help demonstrate my sincerity.
I understand. Thank you. I'll let our boss know.
But if you so much as think about pulling something like this again, I won't be so lenient next time. Understood?
All right. We get it. Come on, let's go.
Are you sure it's okay to just let them go like that, Navia?
I don't want to inherit my father's grudges, too. Moreover, when it comes to the Aquabus, I don't think what my father did was entirely correct either. If the other side is willing to talk, I'm happy to open the door for a reconciliation. Opportunities for new beginnings are all around us.
I support Boss's decision as well. The concept of an eye for an eye is a primitive practice that has no place in today's Spina di Rosula.
Yes. Plus, we already know that they're strapped for cash. If their financial situation is that dire, they don't have what it takes to challenge us. So this may be the best time to talk. I still think we should keep an eye out for Romeu's folks, though. If he decides to ignore the warning I gave his men, then we could still have a fight on our hands.
Trời, mình nhà lữ hành chấp hết, không cần phải lo đâu.
Yeah, those guys definitely didn't look like big fans of yours.
I'd rather things not go that far, since, though we haven't talked to each other for years, once upon a time we were all a part of the Spina di Rosula family.
Yep, that's how I feel as well. Anyway, now that we've sent them packing, we don't have to worry about those guys anymore. It's getting late already, so why don't we stay the night in the Fleuve Cendre? We can head back to Poisson tomorrow. I'll also ask someone to write Florent a letter and inform him of everything that happened here today, so he can increase security around Poisson and be on guard against any suspicious individuals.
Do we have to stay in the Fleuve Cendre again? Even the pillows there smell like seaweed.
Sorry, that's just what happens when you live near water and don't get much sunlight. Poisson's pretty much the same though, so I've long since gotten used to it. We can still go out in the evening for some grilled fish and drinks though. Bet you there'll be people singing sea shanties too. How does that sound?
Huh. That does sound pretty cool. Okay, Paimon's on board now. Let's go. Paimon wants to sing too.
Không, tao muốn ngủ ở chỗ anh Long cơ. Muốn ngủ ở chỗ anh Long cơ, không muốn xuống khu đây ổ chuột đó đâu. Ôi ôi ôi. Ở đây sao cái ổ chuột nó sâu thế? Thấy anh Long đi bay xuống nó mất mặt.
Shower me with praise.
Đi.
The doctor will see you now. way here is too narrow.
Ừ.
Coming back here really does feel like this place is starting to grow on Paimon. If you think about it, it would be kind of weird if the Spina's base at the court was some super luxurious building like the Palais Mermonia.
Totally. Right on the money, Paimon. Although, of course, with the continued growth of the Spina, Papa wanted Poisson to eventually grow into a metropolis, not unlike the court. He was a very ambitious man, who rarely looked behind or beneath him. For better or worse, that always made him stand out from the crowd.
And that's also why people hated him just as much as they loved him.
All right. Why don't you go wait for me at the restaurant? I'll go do some prep and I'll get someone to tidy up your room while I'm at it. You can use the same room as last time. You still remember the room number, yeah?
Yep. Kinda hard to forget when there are only so many rooms here after all.
Oh, did I just hear someone taking a dig at Fleuve Cendre? I'll tell my guys to stuff your pillows full of actual seaweed right now.
Oh, Paimon, sorry! Please have mercy, Navia. If you do that, then Paimon really won't be able to sleep at all.
Đi quyết dịch là rong biển chứ
I
sao lại
was
vậy?
just kidding.
Vậy nó
Be
có
on your
nước.
way now.
Có thì đâu có sống với nước.
Just say what you mean.
Finally on the road.
Làm gì ngồi đây hả?
What's taking him so long?
Dễ thương á.
Hello? Are you asleep yet? Oh, no, not at all. I just figured that since we don't get to enjoy nights like these very often, we should try to enjoy it to the fullest. Wanna go fishing? I've got some rods and lures ready.
Oh, so that's the prep you were talking about. Sure, we'll come.
Hopefully I didn't wake you or anything. Don't worry, you don't have to do any actual fishing if you're too tired. Just think of it as keeping me company. How does that sound? Okay, let's go.
Rồi đi đừng nói nữa. Mặc dù nhà lữ hành thì không mệt, nhưng là câu chuyện này thì cũng sẽ dài ha. Người điều khiển nhà lữ hành. Cũng không phải là không mệt đâu. Không lẽ từ dưới nước chui lên nhỉ? Sao cái được dưới nước chui lên? Cô đi ra khả năng lặn nó cũng không kém gì anh Long đâu ha. Lúc mà nhảy lên trên bờ thì cũng rất là mượt. Ồ, cần câu chi mà nó bự thế?
How can you call this fishing when you're using a fully automatic rod?
What's the problem? Lots of people in Poisson use rods like these.
But shouldn't fishing be all about, you know, attentively watching the float and then excitedly reeling in the catch when you finally hook something?
Well, that's one way to enjoy fishing. What do you think, traveler? That's how I feel as well. To me, I'm happy as long as I catch some fish.
Honestly, Paimon's mainly shocked at how much energy you still have at this hour. Usually by this time of night, it's a struggle for Paimon to even keep her eyes open.
Huh. It might just be something that runs in my family.
That's a thing?
Oh.
I'm sure you'd get even sleepier if I delved more deeply into it. Anyway, I was just thinking about how grateful I am to my mother, as well as the rest of the Spina. My father always had a lot of unrealistic expectations for me. But the more that he tried to get me to become like him, the less I wanted to listen to what he had to say. My mother never had those kinds of expectations, though. I've heard that she had only one wish for me, which was that I would have a happy and secure childhood. All the members of the Spina greatly respected her wish, so no matter what I did as a child, they were happy to humor me. Can you imagine? Whenever my father wanted to scold me for something I'd done, everyone would form up into 2 rows and just stand silently and listen to him rant. Maloose and Silver were always there too. No matter what Papa yelled, nobody else would say a word. Eventually, Papa must have recognized scolding me over trivial matters was pointless, because he eventually stopped getting on my case so often.
Paimon would have never guessed.
Yeah. Looking back on it now as an adult, I can hardly believe how patient and kind everyone was. When I was young, I often thought that I could do whatever I wanted, because there'd always be someone there to clean up after me. But once, I saw Maloose come back wounded. He wouldn't tell me how he'd been injured, but I could tell it had something to do with me. I learned then that there's always a cost to making a mistake. The more you care about those around you, the more you should care about doing the right thing to the best of your abilities. Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences. And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you
Nhưng
and
mà có
pay the
một
price for your mistakes.
vài thứ thì nó cũng đâu có nó cũng đâu có hiểu được vài đứa nó đâu có hiểu được.
Sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up. I wasn't planning to talk about sad things tonight. Basically, I was just saying that the nurturing atmosphere of the Spina must have been my mother's legacy, rather than my father's. And if that's the only way that I can continue to feel her love, then I'd like to pass that warmth on.
Is that why you let those guys go today?
Mm-hmm. Although, maybe there's a part of not wanting to repeat the mistakes of the past. I want to be reasonable, at least. Hey, look! I think you've got something on the line!
But why isn't the rod automatically reeling it in?
Oh, there must be something wrong with how I installed the mechanism. It was my first time putting one of those rods together. We can't let it get away. Come on, you two. Let's catch it.
You want Paimon to help too?
Chứ sao? Nó mà muốn cá chạy hả? Con cá bơi lớn dữ vậy.
You didn't attach a hook to your line?
Rồi, tính làm cưng tử nha hay gì?
Stop wasting time! The boss ain't gonna wait all day. We'll go ahead with the operation tomorrow. Do with that information as you wish.
Well, your rod was missing a part too, so I guess that makes it fair.
Well, if we're just talking about the number of missing parts, sure.
Never mind. Paimon really can't keep her eyes open anymore.
Trời mày ghét con bay đều buồn ngủ gì?
All right, go to bed. I had a great time today. See you tomorrow. So how was last night? Did you get a good night's sleep?
Paimon dreamt that she danced with the sea stars, so you could say it was stellar. Get it?
Oh.
I didn't know you had such a great sense of humor.
See? This guy gets it!
Anyway, let's head out. I'll arrange for a boat to take us back to Poisson. I'm sure Adele will be happy to see you two again.
Paimon hopes she'll really appreciate your gift.
I hope so too.
Rồi thôi chúng ta tele về nha. Không đi nằm vòng nữa, phí thời gian cũng nhiều rồi. Cái gì tới thì cũng nên tới thôi. Nhưng cũng phải làm nhanh một chút.
Adele, we're back! We brought you a gift from the court, too.
Whoa! Thank you so much, boss!
Don't call her boss, okay, Adele? Just Miss Navia would be fine.
Oh, it's all right. I don't mind. Besides the gift, I've also got another surprise. Guess who's here?
It's been a while!
Oh, it's you two. It has been a while indeed. Thank you so much for your help on Jacques' case. I've heard that you also helped save all of Fontaine. You're truly just like the great heroes of legend.
You're really amazing! And if Miss Navia's your friend, then she must be super amazing too! What's in this thing? Can I look?
Yes!
Of course. Go ahead.
Oh, it's a Spina di Rosula uniform! Is it for me? But isn't it a bit big?
Well, it's a gift for future you. When you first told me that you were interested in joining the Spina, I was overjoyed. But it's the Spina's responsibility to protect everyone as well. Being a member means becoming involved in all kinds of dangerous situations. And since you're still young, I don't want your mom to have to worry about your safety. So I turned you down then by telling you that you'll have to wait until you're older. But this uniform is a promise that you can join us once you're old enough to wear it.
Oh, so that's it! Well, thank you so much, Miss Navia. I'll work hard and grow up as fast as I can.
But you can't really grow up faster by working hard. You've got to be patient.
Everyone, I'm really grateful that you remembered my daughter's wish and took it seriously. Thanks to the protection of the Spina, even though her father's no longer with us, we've still felt plenty of warmth and security.
Oh, it's the least we could do. As long as you live in Poisson, even if you're not an official member, you're still part of the family.
Boss!
Huh? Is something up, Laurent?
I've got something urgent to report. Romeu and his folks have gathered outside Poisson and even shipped in a huge pile of explosives.
What? Explosives? What do they want?
It seems like they've been planning this for some time. We started investigating as soon as we received your letter yesterday. But Romeu and his folks must have gotten wind as well, because they abandoned their former posts before we could even check on them. We investigated their tracks and found out that they're after Poisson.
Could they have smartened up since we caught them red-handed at the court?
Seems like they've got no interest in sitting down and talking at all. We should have gone straight to the Maison Gardiennage.
Sorry, I underestimated the situation. Well, too late now, I suppose. Florent, where are they keeping their explosives?
On the hill to the east of Poisson, near the Clementine line.
Ờ.
They want to blow up the Clementine line?
Certainly sounds like it.
Romeo and his followers hate the Spina and everything to do with Callus. And the Aquabus was the source of their contention. If they manage to blow up the Aquabus line, all that rubble will come crashing down the hill and straight into Poisson.
Are they insane? There's tons of innocent people in Poisson!
Yeah. If they've been planning this for ages, they're definitely not going to let this opportunity slip by. We have to issue an evacuation order to the townspeople and get them as far away from the entrance as possible. That should save them from the worst of it.
Let's get everyone onto our ship. That should be the safest place.
My dear partner, can I leave the Clementine line to you? If the explosives do go off, not only would the people of Poisson be in danger, any aquabuses using the line would plummet to the ground. Let's stop their insanity first, then settle the score with them.
Leave it to us, Navia. Please stay safe too.
Đi thôi, đi lột da cút gân tụi nó ra nào.
Let's go, you two. We've got to act fast. Miss Coralie, please take Adele to the ship.
Watch out, boss! What do you think you're doing, Coulter?
I thought all the annoying little hindrances had left, but I still couldn't get rid of you.
You mean this was all a trick? So that you'd be left alone with me? I get it now. You knew about their plans all along. You only told us they were doing badly so that we'd drop our guard.
Not quite. Though I share their positions on some issues, I've never cared for his more radical ideas. And that's because, out of the entire Spina di Rosula, I only hate you. Only you, Navia.
You better stick close to me.
Romeo promised me that he would leave Poisson alone if I could just take you out. But it was like you were glued at the hip to that pesky traveler. You never gave me a chance to make my move. Romeo has lost his patience. I didn't have to be here today, you know, but I swore that I'd kill you, even if it meant being buried with you in the rubble.
Why?
Only someone as clueless about the past as you would ask such a foolish question. You never saw the heyday of Spina di Rosula, nor did you ever live through the golden age of Poisson. But I saw it all with my own eyes, and then I had to watch it all die, little by little. And it was all because of you, Navia. Clementine died because of you. Callus died because of you. Melus and Silver died because of you. And so many more dead, all because of you.
Ồ,
So the shock and grief you showed us before, that was in Act 2?
Now you're catching on. I heard Melus was dead the moment I got out. Did you know? Down there in that blasted fortress, I spent a long time thinking about what happened and resolving to apologize to Melus as soon as I got out. Back then, because of that aquabus, we had a huge fallout. I was convinced that all he cared about was loyalty, and that he had completely lost his capacity for critical thinking. The years passed by in a blur after that. I thought I had finally begun to understand him, and that he could help me relive the good old days again. But then he died, and it was because of you again, Navia. It's always because of you.
sao vậy? Ủa đời hả?
I once loved the Spina and Poisson more than anyone else. But what is left now of either besides death and ruin? You've single-handedly destroyed everything that was beautiful. Everything I've ever loved.
Don't listen to him, boss! He's just spouting nonsense!
Have you ever considered that maybe the people around you don't actually care about you at all? Have you ever considered that maybe you only get respect because you're Callus and Clementine's child? That you've never done anything worthy? That you're just a big nothing? Have you ever considered that maybe people don't stay in Poisson because of you, but only because they have such beautiful memories of the past before you came?
Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences. And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you.
Mấy cái giả thiết buồn
And pay
cười
the
quá.
price for your
Dẹp đi.
Yeah, but is that...
Shut your mouth! I, for one, really like Miss Navia. And my mom loves her too. I don't know how to explain it, but I like her. And that's that.
I'm sure Mr. Malus would be extremely disappointed in you right now. You've somehow managed to pin the blame for every mistake and tragedy in our history on the boss herself.
Get out of the way, Florent. I don't want to hurt you.
You're gonna have to. Boss, there's no time for this. Stop hesitating and get out of here before you get buried.
Maybe you think you're being the realist by painting the history of the Spina and Poisson like this. But the love that I felt from everyone was just as real. I felt it. They've helped me get to where I am. And even now, I will continue to believe in that love. So let me show you just how much I love the Spina di Rosula.
Đúng rồi, bắn nó đi, đập vào mặt nó.
Hey there! Hey there! Hiya!
Trời ơi.
Watch out! Attack! That's the way. Coming at ya.
Rồi đâu thôi bắn lửa bắn đồ này kia nó mất chịu luôn. Sao không có nhân vật khác ra chỉ có bắn một mình Navia vậy?
Laurent, I'll leave the town to you. Summon the other members and help with the evacuation of the townspeople. If you find any of Coulter's accomplices, subdue them quickly, and don't give them the chance to harm any ordinary civilians. I can't allow my partner to face the danger on the Clementine line alone.
Got it, boss. I'm on it. Are you okay, Navia?
I don't know, but I have to go.
Được không? Được không?
Let's hurry up there. We have to protect the Clementine. If they're gonna blow up the waterway, they must have planted the explosives next to the support pillars.
Ở đâu vậy? Không biết luôn hả?
Shine down.
Cái đám này hả?
A bitter pill to swallow. Taking a turn for the better.
Now you shall perish.
Cái đám này xuất hiện để kiếm chết chứ làm gì?
The doctor was sick. He certainly brought a lot of muscle. They're really slowing us down. But if we're meeting resistance, we must be heading in the right direction.
The tides beckon.
Tới.
These must be the explosives, right? And this is the control mechanism. How can we disable it? Oh, Paimon's too scared to touch any of this stuff. Huh? There's a strangely shaped hole here. What is it for? Oh, that certainly sounds possible. Maybe one of the people we just beat up has the key. Okay, you take this side, Paimon will take the other. Let's...
Paimon không làm được gì, đứng ở một bên.
Shower me with praise. Oh, you found should do it, right? Navi and Florent should be able to relax now. Oh, you're right. They could have set explosives elsewhere, too. Let's go.
Ồ, hay thế.
They're gonna bury Poisson!
Ồ, quá đỉnh. Quá đỉnh luôn. Quá lợi hại. Quá lợi hại. Nham thực. Hớ. Tới nữa kìa. Sử dụng tuyệt chiêu đi. Dậm đất đá ra.
Great work, partner. Just leave the rest to me.
Watch out, Navia! You can't block them all!
Block? I'm doing this the Spina way.
Ồ, quá dữ. Dù quay cầu thắng luôn. Ồ, hay á. Giờ có thể làm dù, giờ có thể làm súng. Còn hơn là diệp tu nữa. Không phải là toàn chất cao thủ đâu mà dữ vậy. Rồi sao không có chuyện kết thúc êm đẹp rồi đó. Rồi đi tù hết đi nào.
I heard from Thierry that even they're your enemies now. They were once a part of Spina di Rosula. Do you plan to settle this privately with them?
I have nothing more to say to them. Regardless of whether their hatred and anger towards me or the Spina was justified, anyone who's willing to endanger innocent civilians is no longer sane enough to even be worth trying to talk to. Please prosecute them in accordance to the law. Spina di Rosula will not raise any objections.
Sounds good. We're very appreciative of your help. Without it, the consequences would have been far worse. All right, this operation is a wrap. Take him away.
We won, Navia! We saved everyone! And you were so cool!
Yeah. Luckily, we were just in time. It's probably because I expended too much elemental energy at once. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
But you usually glow up whenever other people compliment you. Paimon's not used to seeing you like this.
Boss, we managed to catch all the infiltrators in the town. The Maison Gardiennage is taking them away as well. Seems like Romeu really went all in on this mission. If he sent literally everyone he had, though, that also means we've caught them all, too. We won't have...
Got it. That's good, at least. Coulter.
Đi
I
tù
can
nữa nha.
understand how you feel. The things that we lost, they're forever beyond our grasp now. And that makes them appear even more precious. I am not callous, and I will also never become him. The Spina and the Poisson that you loved are both gone. But I will not change how I feel about our future. I still believe that this is a great opportunity to start anew. I will spend more of what the Spina earns on the betterment of Poisson. What's more, I'd also like to propose some changes to the Aquabus routes, so that one day, the people of Poisson will enjoy the boons it brings as well.
I know what you're trying to say. Mr. Callis would never have said anything like that. There are too many things in life that are just beyond our control. In that, we are the same.
Henceforth, you are no longer a member of Spina di Rosula. But once you're discharged from the fortress again, you're welcome to pay another visit to Poisson.
Thank you, Navia.
Rồi xong. Kết thúc chưa?
As I thought. Boss really is a kind and gentle person.
She is also, I must say, a truly unlucky person. Thank you for protecting the Clementine line. I was actually really scared, you know. I mean, even the Callus line won't be getting rebuilt anytime soon. If I'd lost the Clementine line too, I wouldn't know how to live with myself. A name is a way to etch a memory onto the world. Losing the line that bears her name, that I can see every day, would be like losing my mother all over again. Seeing it still standing there, tall and proud, it makes me really happy.
What happened while we were gone? Honestly, you look more upset than tired or anything.
Just give her some time.
Thank you so much. Can you give me a hand? I really don't have much strength left. Traveler, I want to ask you something. And please, tell me the truth. Do you really see me as your partner?
Of course.
That's good then. Hearing that, it brings me more relief than I can say.
Không sao đâu. Tôi sẽ cố gắng để được đền đáp mà.
How do you feel,
Cố
Navia?
lên.
Any better after taking a break?
I feel quite a bit better. But I should probably still rest for a few more days. Sorry, partner. I said some weird things earlier. Feel free to just ignore me. I used to think that I'd never doubt myself. But you could say I've discovered that I'm not as strong as I thought I was. Coulter mentioned my parents, as well as Malus and Silver. It's all thanks to them that I've made it this far in life. Do you think they ever regretted the choices they made? Has my existence made this world a better place?
Don't think like that, Navia. You've already done more than enough. No matter what others think, we'll always support you to the end of the world.
Well, since it's ended up like this, I suppose it's time for me to make a confession as well. There's something that I've been keeping from you as well, boss. Please, follow me. Everything is already prepared.
Florent, I hope you can understand that I can't deal with any more shocking revelations right now.
Don't worry. This surprise will be a pleasant one.
Why is everyone gathered here? And what's this?
This was supposed to be a gift to you from everyone in the town. We were originally planning to show it to you once it was finished. But special times call for special measures. I've never seen you look so defeated before. So I've decided to show you the designs before the final product was done.
Do I really look that bad?
Well, if you're ready, I'll unveil the present.
Ồ. Thế.
This is... Papa, Mother, and me.
We designed the look for Miss Clementine based on old camera records, as well as personal recollections from members of the Spina.
Wow! This is the statue you mentioned before?
It is indeed. To be honest, we decided on the design a long time ago, and gave the sculptor permission to begin working. We only asked Boss to decide on a design so she wouldn't realize we had already started.
How could we only have statues of Mr. Callus and Mrs. Clementine?
Even though Boss is still young, we've all seen the work she's put in regarding the whole synth business and the rebuilding of Poisson.
We wanted to commemorate her contributions with a statue as well.
I don't know what Spina di Rosula was like in the past, but I know it's a great organization now.
With Navia around, we're not worried about this place's future.
We're gathered here today to tell our boss that we support you and believe in you wholeheartedly. I believe everyone is here for you, not the glory days.
That's what we believe as well.
Thank you so much, everyone. Then I'll be brave and just accept everyone's support for what it is. This really is quite the surprise. I never thought that I'd have the chance to stand next to my mother. Not even in my wildest dreams.
Thôi vậy là kết thúc rồi, nói chuyện tí nào.
It seems like I started to question myself a bit too much. I'll pick myself up again and become a more reliable president for all of you. Looking back on it, I'm honestly embarrassed by how I acted earlier. I'm sure everyone longs for that one thing in life that seems trivial to others, but they themselves can never obtain. To me, that would be a family portrait. I've always been super jealous of other people's family photos. I've never thought I'd receive a family portrait of my own. Especially not like this. It seems like I'm not such an unlucky person after all.
Ok, như vậy là được rồi nha. Thì công việc hôm nay thế là đủ rồi. Tiếp theo đó thì sẽ rồi là không muốn làm. Đó, mà ý những ngày mưa giông còn có cái để mà xài, là cố gắng thôi. Bên cuối này thì là để lấy và làm không có gì nữa đó. Thì thời lượng vẫn còn, chim ngắn hay chim dài thêm tí nữa thì cũng vậy thôi. Tiện thì thêm những sự kiện cái đấy này không ngồi nói giảm một tí thì là hơi buồn đó. Rồi tổng kết thì vụ này thì cũng không có điểm thăng trầm quá lớn hay là nút thắt gì quá là chỉ đại ở đây hết. Không, thì một câu chuyện về sự đoàn kết và chia sẻ với nhau, thì trách nhiệm của một người lãnh đạo các kiểu. Thì câu chuyện thì cũng không có đặt nặng đề, cũng như là nút thắt thì cũng không lớn, nhưng nó cũng xem như là một cái hồi kết, là một phần viết tiếp thêm cho sự kiện thảm họa trong Moscow ha. Thì vì trước đó nền tảng của câu chuyện này đã rất là rồi, nên bản chất câu chuyện không cần phải quá là cần nhiều tình tiết. Để mà
A bitter pill to swallow.
cởi mở thành chúng ta thì chuyện vật chất nó khá là đầy đủ rồi, nền tảng là chắc. nên cách kể chuyện có thể rút ngắn rất là cho thời gian mình đi trên nước vòng 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 thì nó mất nhiều thời gian thôi, chứ còn bản chất câu chuyện hay một bộ thời gian được rút ngắn, nó có dài dòng hơn những câu chuyện khác á. Vậy mà không phải giải thích nhiều. Xưa thì chúng ta cũng có nhắc lại câu chuyện cũ về một robot gì đó, nhưng những ngày về từ đầu tới cuối thì không có xuất hiện, nên chúng ta sẽ bỏ được số cái gọi là chi tiết thừa.
Ready for a rehearsal? Wouldn't gliding be faster? Here we go!
Ta không cần phải tập trung quá vào
Shine down!
thừa, nên là câu chuyện sẽ ngắn gọn hơn. Thì ở cuối á, chi tiết bị phản bội cũng không quá là để không có đổ máu, nhưng mà có thể hiện tại giờ chơi suy nghĩ tới
Torn to oblivion! Illusion shattered!
sự kiện thật quá u ám đi.
Let's play!
Mình sẽ đánh giá cao cuộc này.
Time for takeoff!
Quá cầu
Shine down!
đất. Thì cơ bản thì vụ đã thành công trong việc hòa hợp với đầu ra, có gì để nói nữa. Qua đi.
There is no escape!
Here we go!
Time for a house call.
Còn về phần Navia, câu chuyện của Navia không dính dáng gì nhiều đến câu chuyện chính của phần tranh, đó là một cũng không phải là về dù thì chiến lược đó Navia đã được tính là cao sau này đó. Và nếu mà hỏi Navia thì công việc không thể nhận có thể tiến hành, nó không dính
Illusion shattered!
A bitter pill to swallow. Seems like an emergency.
Silence!
Let the mighty be humbled.
nó là cảm giác không chủ đề nhân vật bạn rất là tốt rồi. Với lại câu chuyện về Spina di Rossola thực sự là cách cho Nadia sức câu chuyện thôi.
There is no escape!
Nếu không thì với sự yêu cầu
How brilliant!
hay là cầu xin khẩn thiết của Jimmy và Lynette thì mọi người cũng vẫn sẽ phải điều tra
Mind the side effects.
Illusion shattered!
đấy. Còn nếu có Nadia sức khỏe nó cần tình Nadia chỉ là vật phụ trong cốt truyện chứ cũng không có nhiều liên hệ với những sự kiện chính khác. Còn nhưng một cách nào đó rất là tự chủ đó, kiên cường. Navia đã xuất hiện trong câu chuyện của chúng ta đó, đa phần tương tác với Emily thôi.
The doctor was serious.
Từ phía cảm nhận được có lỗi hay là chỉ thế nên hết thì Navia đã được Kia rất là ngoan.
Let my name echo in song! Shower me with praise!
A bitter pill to swallow.
Và vậy thế đó. Không. Rồi rất là hoàn hảo.
Bow your head.
Nó không vướng yếu mà không
The statue will see you now.
hiểu. Inazuma thì chúng ta phía Sumeru có cà phê Susan gì cà phê thì sẽ có gửi nhiệm vụ hay những tình tiết liên quan tới anh ấy sao rồi chuyện ship football nên là Kim trở thành con vật được tớ.
Ad Astra Abyssos.
Ghép lợi hại của trò chơi.
Thank you for complete.
Về phía Python
Ad Astra.
thì chẳng qua là ăn theo ca bác thôi. Trời ơi, thất minh là gì rồi.